Well, you might have thought that this week has been great for Epic Games as Fortnite has reached a peak concurrent player count. It's been doing fantastic with the OG map being released. And that may be true, but internally things at Epic Games are definitely hectic right now, as they this week have taken basically the biggest tech giant in the world, Google, to federal court over a legal battle that is very much centered around its app store for mobile devices, which is called Google Play. So things kicked off in court earlier this week, and they are set to resume next week. This closely watched antitrust showdown has very significant implications for the distribution of Android apps and the payment structure for in-app content on smartphones. So Epic's lawsuit specifically targets the Google Play Store, and it focuses on Google's fees for in-app subscriptions and one-time transactions, as well as other terms that app developers, including Epic, argue contribute to Google maintaining an unlawful monopoly in app distribution. And the ongoing legal dispute reflects a broader discussion about whether App Store operators such as Google and even Apple foster an open and competitive app ecosystem. And while both companies assert that their app stores generate substantial revenue for smaller businesses and ensure user security oversight, critics, and in this case including Epic Games, contend that the current practices lead to anti-competitive behavior. And this is a pretty big lawsuit right now. I'm actually seeing that both companies' CEOs are set to testify next week, or at least it looks that way. It definitely looks as if the Google CEO is going to testify next week, and I'm not exactly sure about Epic Games CEO Tim Sweeney, but there are rumors that he is going to testify at some point during this legal battle. So the roots of this court battle can be traced all the way back to 2020 when Epic launched Project Liberty, which was a strategy aimed at bypassing the terms set by Apple and Google's app stores. And basically this triggered a direct conflict with both tech giants. This has actually resulted in two different lawsuits, one against Apple and one against Google. I guess the one against Apple is still ongoing and it may even head to the Supreme Court. But specifically with this one against Google, Epic is alleging that Google violates U.S. antitrust law by, quote, controlling, surveilling, and taxing transactions between users and developers, end quote. In a nutshell, they are saying that, hey, Google Play and Apple, in their case, has way too much control over apps on their respective app stores, and specifically has way too much control over transactions and purchases. Google's defense argues that Epic seeks access to the Play Store's 2.5 billion users worldwide without contributing to the platform's support. Google is saying that a victory for Epic could hinder Google's ability to offer a competitive Android alternative to Apple's iOS. Now, Google confirmed in court that it proposed a $147 million deal to Epic Games for the launch of Fortnite on the Google Play Store. The deal involved dispensing the money over 3 years as incremental funding, concluding in 2021. The offer aimed to prevent a potential contagion of popular apps bypassing the official Android store and avoiding Google's in-app purchase fees. Now, Epic initially released Fortnite on Android in 2018 through its website to sidestep Google Play Store commissions. However, in 2020, citing issues like scary, repetitive security pop-ups, Epic Games opted to actually use the Google Play Store. In a separate lawsuit, Epic claimed that its initial decision alarmed Google, leading to internal efforts to offer benefits to forestall a potential exodus of developers. Overall, Epic is arguing that Google's actions reveal a fear of competition for Android app distribution and an alleged maintenance of an unlawful monopoly on the Google Play Store. There's definitely a lot of complexities on App Store markets, App Store ecosystems. It's a lot more complex than I definitely thought it was. I guess a lot of tech companies are expressing very high dissatisfaction with App Store rules. Now, despite Epic's attempts to challenge in-app purchase fees, fees. Google may recoup lost revenue by charging fees for app distribution. Google contends that fees are necessary for a secure service. However, the negative attention coincides with multiple antitrust cases. Like I said, things are scheduled to resume next week, and also, like I said, I believe both CEOs are at some point expected to testify. It very much looks like Google's CEO will testify next week. Both companies definitely have had their fair share of lawsuits in the past, so actually just earlier this year, a lawsuit concluded that basically alleged Epic Games of misleading kids to make in-game purchases, and that lawsuit ended up with a very big payment made out by Epic Games. And like I said, Epic has taken Apple to court as well as Google. And on the flip side, it definitely seems that Google these days is kind of in and out of court. So overall, we will see what happens with this as the court trial for this lawsuit resumes next week. It's very interesting stuff. With things going the way that they are, with both CEOs expected to testify, I definitely wouldn't be surprised to see this lawsuit carry out throughout the rest of this year and maybe even into next year.